And here it is. Cool. Here's a little mid-morning snack before. Un paesino. Dies right before the end. Good morning. As you can see, I'm in a quite different place than usual. This morning I am in Bassano del Grappa, which is in Italy, in Veneto to be precise. And the reason I'm here is because I'm starting an adventure. And the official start of the adventure is a little farther ahead. But since I was here in Bassano visiting my buddy Giulio, I decided to have a little extra riding into what is going to be an already quite large riding week, or dare I say 10 days. So we are going to ride from Veneto, from the region where we are now, through the whole eastern side of the Italian Dolomites until Milan. We're gonna do this in 10 days with over 1,000 kilometers, 25,000 meters of elevation, and all the most famous mountain passes. So today, right now, is the unofficial start. I'm gonna ride from Bassano to Belluno to meet the rest of the gang. So let's just go along, and while we ride, I'm gonna explain you a little bit more about what we're gonna do and what's gonna happen. I have my trusty Belay Grar here, fully loaded, 19 kilos in this configuration, and then just gonna show you a bit of the beautiful place I'm at, and we're gonna start riding because it's already pretty warm. It's July 20th. Oh, my bike was falling down. And it's already, I think, 25 degrees. So, a quick update. I've been riding the first 30k of the day. Overall today is going to be 120k, buddy. And first 30k we're through some of the towns here in Veneto. I passed some pretty cool places, as you have seen, but I also had a lot of traffic. Now I'm just outside Valdobbiadene, where they make some great prosecco, and I'm here on smaller roads amongst the vineyards, as you can see, and there's still a little bit of traffic, but it's way nicer now. And I'm approaching the first climb of the day, which is going to be a little one, but then I'm going to do quite a mythical climb. It's called Passo San Boldo. Some of you might know it. It's been in the Giro d'Italia last year. It's pretty iconic with several switchbacks and tunnels, so let's see how it goes. But right now it's super nice, and there's way less cars and trucks than before, so I'm really enjoying this. Well, since we're in the land of Sorpresa and Prosecco, here's a little mid-morning snack before climbing Passo San Boldo. So, as I mentioned, this first part is not very entertaining. It's 35 degrees down here in the bottom of the valley, and it's just a long straight. But I just passed a sign saying that we're gonna have 18 switchbacks. So things are definitely about to get interesting, and I can already see the first one, which is marked 18. So you should definitely become more of a fun climb and not just a straight slog up the valley. So as you can see here, I am at the start of the tunnels, but there is a traffic light, so gives me one more second to go. So I'm gonna stop here and wait for the next turn. It's pretty interesting here. There are these panels with historical photos, and you can see here, so you can see that this was a military road, and it was built for the First World War by the Italian army. This was the very line of combat between Italy and Austria. So like many legendary passes in Italy, this is indeed a military road. What's up? So there's a little countdown, and here I go into the mountain. This is pretty crazy. If you think that this road was built between 1915 and 1918 pretty much by hand and with donkeys, and we're still doing it today. So first switchback done. Hopefully I don't get caught with head-on traffic, but I was down there and now I'm up here. That's a good feeling. Let's go for another tunnel. Well. So I'm not alone anymore. We got company. Fede, aka Merlo, Sana, Angie, and Lorenzo. And now we're heading here to our second climb of the day, or third, which is gonna take us to tonight's accommodation. So we're heading into our last climb of the day, and this one is very peculiar because we'll be heading to the Vaillant area. So Vaillant is a name that is pretty tragic in Italian history because there is a dam up the valley we'll be climbing that was home to one of the biggest disasters in Italian history. Basically, in 1963, the whole side of the mountain that you will see later collapsed, slid into the artificial lake, and a huge, immense flooding wave came down the valley and basically obliterated the valley. So here's what I was talking about. This is the dam and that is the mountain, and you can see that the whole gray area of the mountain basically slid into the lake. So it's really impressive from here. We need to go through this tunnel. I'm back with Sana, who you're gonna keep seeing through the video. But yeah, this is basically where it all happened. It's as beautiful as it is sombering. So there you can see Merlo and Angie, and all of this here is the landslide that went to the lake. So I don't know if you can get an idea, but it's absolutely massive, and actually the road is gonna climb up it. It's really hard to explain, but I'm gonna put a link down so you can do some further reading on what happened here in 1963. And I'm gonna continue pedaling. So we have a problem here. This is the restaurant where we just had dinner in Clouds, and this is their selection of grappas. It's pretty wide, so now we gotta choose amongst all of this. It's day 2 already. Yesterday was quite a hard day. Having breakfast in Cloud. What's on the menu today?
What are we doing today?
What are we doing today?
We're going to Ovaro at the foothills of Zoncolan, and it's about 95 kilometers, and we'll be climbing about 2,200 meters. And it should be a fun day. We're gonna pass a lake.
It should be. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It should be.
This time.
It's 10 a.m. and we're already having a beer. Cheers, before the first climb. Of course, German and Scottish. Good. So, first climb of the day. This is a little 5-kilometer climb here in Friuli. But just look at the view. It's pretty majestic. So, sweating out that first beer, and Just trying to keep a steady pace. I'll see you later at the top. First climb of the day done. So here we are, almost midway up this climb. The pavement is just perfect. I think the Giro must have gone through here recently, so it's quite perfect. Good pavement. There's almost nobody around except for a few motorbikes. It's really hard. This is one of those climbs that puts you in that zone where, at least for me, it's just a matter of survival. I try not to stop, keep going, rather than make it a long ordeal. I mean, it's long anyways, because I'm slow, but I enjoy the view, and there's some nice switchbacks that keep you entertained and vary a little bit the rhythm, but other than that, it's a long, tough one. Still 4K to the top. 3Ks to the top, and this is the view. It's just this massive mountains. I feel the Dolomites here in Friuli are really rugged and beautiful. You can see this huge rock wall to my right, so we're gonna have to keep running alongside it. 3 more K to the summit that way. So we arrived at tonight's accommodation in Ovaro, and if you see up here, you might know what's in store for us tomorrow. Zoncolan, one of the toughest climbs in Europe, probably the world, and we're gonna do it on the rough side, on the hard side, of course. So now we're gonna try to have a good dinner and an early night, because tomorrow is gonna be a hell of a day. Good morning from Ovaro in Friuli. It's a beautiful day, and now I'm gonna do this. It's a beautiful day, but it's also a bit scary, because today we're gonna climb the mighty Zoncolan, probably one of the toughest climbs in the world, for sure in Europe. Everyone's getting ready. Angie looks scared, but she's not. And then I'm gonna show you some pretty flowers, because then that's the last nice thing you're gonna see for today. From now on, only suffering. So we haven't really gotten into the toughest parts yet, but it's already quite tiring. And staying in Ovaro, we just got right into it. So I'm gonna take it real easy for this first 20 minutes. Try to warm up a little bit, not overcook my legs, because as you can see, I have no bags on my bike for this. Luckily, our route master Merlo made it possible to do this without the bags. But then we're gonna have to loop back to Ovaro with another small climb, and then collect our bags from the guest house we're staying at Pedale, which, by the way, it's amazing. It's basically a cyclist hotel. And then we have a huge climb, not a hard one, but a long one towards Sella Ciampigotto, where we're staying for the night. So big day ahead, almost 3,000 meters of elevation in front of us. But first, let's get Zoncolan done. So here is a first look at how it's really gonna be. We can see the road just going straight up. It's a beautiful morning, and here you have some signs with history of cyclism. Cyclist. Here we have Ottavio Bottecchia, but I'm gonna save breath because I think we're already well above 15%. and we're gonna stay this way for a while. It's not even funny anymore. I've stopped for a quick gel, and we're now a little over half. It's luckily it's supposed to get somewhat easier at the very end. The last 2 kilometers give up a little bit. Right now we're at over 15%, and it's just brutal. I'm with Sana. Luckily she's keeping me company, and we'll get through this. But I know I'm gonna say this a lot more times for other things, but this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And believe me, I've done a lot of stupid shit. Oops, I said shit. A lot of stupid stuff. I was thinking back on my quote-unquote career as a cyclist, and well, I mean, I've done big rides. I've raced some pretty big enduro races. Well, I've participated, and I do get a lot of joy from finishing these things, from the accomplishment. I'm definitely not fast, neither up nor downhill, but I do take a lot of satisfaction in completing these things. So bear with me. I want to say we're almost there, but we're not. It's 400 meters vertical to go. So just past the sign to the last kilometer, and now we're here in this tunnel. I can literally see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a joke. It's a narrow, damp, dark tunnel, but it's good because we're almost there. 100 meters of elevation to the top. It's literally the last 2 turns. It's done. What a beast of a climb. So obviously my GoPro died right before the end, but here I am, Zoncolan completed. So we're leaving the refugio. There is some nice alpacas, which I thought were stuffed, but then I saw them moving, so they're not stuffed. So I had a quick sandwich and a Coke in Ovaro, where we started this morning, and now we're back with the bags on the bike, and we're climbing towards our accommodation for the night, which is a beautiful refugio which sits at the top of a 30k climb. When it's so hot and there's a fountain that looks this good, you cannot not get a fill of water. It's impossible. I'm stopped. It's a nice place to stop, but I need to keep going. There's 13k still to go. It's past 6 p.m. At this point I've been on the bike almost 7 hours, 6 hours 40. A little bit more than 4 kilometers to go, and then I'll be at the Rifugio Fabbro, where everybody else is waiting and drinking beer. I am done. So done. So unbelievably done.